Tell me how this ain't no relationship. I just wanna be the one you end up with. Hello lovely people, it is I, Ezgi, and in this week's video I will be reviewing and rating solo albums from massive Broadway stars. A lot of Broadway stars have their solo albums, but I tried to include the ones with original songs instead of just mostly just covers of Broadway hits. I also tried to include people who make different types of music, who have different sounds, so let's see who I chose. Let's start with Leslie Odom Jr., who you might know as Aaron Burr from Hamilton. He has a solo album called Mr. that dropped in 2019, and I listened to it for the first time for this video, so these are my first impressions. I went in expecting this album to be this slow, ballady, jazz type album with soothing, slow songs, but I was wrong. There were a lot of upbeat, catchy, pop-ish music in it. Neither of those things would have been negative, but it's just a surprise. Even though I just said it is pop-ish, I also have to say there were some major blues and jazz undertones, and it had a really old vibe to it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's nothing like the music we are used to hearing on the radio these days. Disclaimer, I don't know music, and so all these genres I'm throwing around, I'm not sure if it's that. I checked Google, I couldn't find what these albums fit into, so I'm just describing a vibe. For me, all the songs were incredible, and they had this sexiness to them that I can't explain why, but they just were. Leslie has a really unique voice, and he clearly put his soul into this album. He co-wrote the songs, and it was really nice having a look inside who he is, basically. But I have to be honest and say I would not listen to this album again. I really enjoyed Go Crazy. That song I could return to, but other than that, it just was not the type of music I prefer to listen to on my own time. I'm gonna repeat myself on this a lot, but the album had a very adult energy to it. It felt very grown up, very mature, and I'm not there in my life yet, so it's not my type of music yet. So my rating for this album is 7 out of 10. Definitely would recommend if you're into some bluesy music with an old vibe to it. It's not my type of music, but he did write the lyrics to it, and he provided incredible, unique vocals to this album, so I gotta pay respect to that. Next up, we have Mandy Gonzalez, who you may know from most notably In the Heights. She was Nina. Her album Fearless is a 7-track EP, I guess, and it dropped in 2017. I also listened to this album for this video, so also first impressions here. Her album is very motivational, uplifting, energetic and energizing, whilst also being very adult. It shows growth and wisdom. However, no matter how much I love her, this is not the type of music I would normally listen to either. She is incredibly talented, just incomparable in the vocals department, but I do not listen to music just for the vocals. I'm not saying the lyrics were bad or the mixing was bad, and just nothing was bad. It just wasn't the vibe that I prefer to listen to. But if you like pop music and are into that Latino vibes, go for it. It was a good album, and it's really short, so you can't lose anything from giving it a try. I gotta say my favorite song from the album was Fearless, and I may be biased because Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote that song, but it told the story of her parents, and it was just really cute and just a great vibe for me. I am saying vibe way too many times. Summary, great vocals, incredible music, great lyrics, not my type of music, not my jazz, and she didn't write her songs, so that separates her from the rest of the people on my list. Due to that, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10, give or take. Let's talk about a cutie. Next, we have Anthony Ramos. I'm very sorry if I'm butchering the Latinx names. I think in my head I know Spanish a little, enough to correctly pronounce them, but I don't know what's coming out, so very terribly, deeply sorry. You may know him as John Lawrence / Philip Hamilton from Hamilton, or as the Usnavi from the In the Heights movie. His album is called The Good and the Bad, and it tells the good and the bad of his personal life. So, I did listen to the whole album for this video, but before that I'd already listened to all of the singles and I loved his music, so I'm not going in with zero information this time. The theme of his music is his personal life, and you can really tell that by how relatable the songs are. He chose to bare his soul for this album, and he digs deep into his regrets, his pain, his love for his family and his soon-to-be wife. We get to see everything, and that is a very bold musical choice, and it makes for an incredible album. I am a person who listens to music mostly for its lyrics. I try to find music that I find relatable with a good story behind it. Even if I haven't lived through that, I want it to be something I can empathize with. And this album does that for me. I love it. I also truly love his single choices like Mind Over Matter and Relationship. For me, they are like the best songs of the album, so great choice. All the songs are extremely catchy, you'll find yourself dancing to them, and that's like my number 2 thing I look for in a song. Lyrics and catchiness. So he checks all the boxes for me. And like, on a totally different note, like he's so sexy. So a whopping 9 out of 10 seems like a good rating, and I'm saving my 10 out of 10 for another album, that's why. Moving on to Shoshana Bean, who you might know as Elphaba from Wicked or Jenna from Waitress. She didn't originate either of those roles, but those are the roles I know her from. She has multiple solo albums out there, but I listen to O'Farrell Street. Shoshana is an incredible vocalist, and apparently she's also an incredible lyricist. I say she's a great lyricist because all the songs told a story, and you could tell that the stories came from personal experience and pain, and so the lyrics made those emotions feel very raw and real. However, the album was once again very adult for me, drew inspiration from mature places, and so I did not enjoy it nearly as much as I could in probably like 10 years. I don't know what genre this was, again, but there were some sad ballads in there, so I'm gonna say it was soft pop, maybe? If you enjoy listening to sad songs, do check it out. Because she wrote her lyrics and they were great, and her vocals are just incredible, I am going to give her album a 7 out of 10. I saved the best for the last. Ben Platt's masterpiece, Sing to Me Instead. You may know him as Evan Hansen from Dear Evan Hansen, his Tony-winning performance, which proves he's one of the best vocalists of his age group in the industry. But that's not all he's capable of. Almost all his songs are these soft ballads of deep pain, anxiety, and love, and he explores these emotions in such a raw, honest way that you feel them, even if you've never felt it in your life before. The lyrics are perfect. The music behind it just soothes my soul, and the vibratos that he stirs, they make me mad. It's insane how good he can sing. I vibe with all of his songs on such a personal level because he's a hopeless romantic, I'm a hopeless romantic, and we vibe. We feel the same way about certain things. He has a song called Older, and it's about how when you're younger you wish you were older, but then when you're older you wish you could just turn back and live your youth again. And that is like my anxiety is 99% driven from that realization. So I can't listen to that song. I get this overwhelming anxiety and I want to cry. My one criticism is something that my friend pointed out to me, and I agree with her, is that the songs all rely heavily on the piano and just Ben's vibrato vocals. So they fall into the same pattern and sound very similar. But I think it's okay to recreate perfection over and over again. So like, I don't know, give me 5 albums of the same sound. As long as the lyrics are changing, I'm up for it. Sing to Me Instead is a 10 out of 10 album for me, and if you enjoy soft piano ballads, I assure you, you will love this album. The raw honesty, the emotions, the pain that he's able to convey through his words and music is what does it for me. And I cannot wait for his second album to drop this year. And those were all the albums I listened to for this video. I am very sorry that this video wasn't probably very helpful because I couldn't define what genre the music were from. It was just vibes to me, so it might not be clear to you what you want to listen to, but I can assure you there's something good in all of these albums, so give all of them a try. What I can say is with utmost confidence is that these stars are incredibly talented and you will not feel like you wasted your time after listening to their music because they're unique and beautiful in their own way. Before ending this video, I'm going to summarize the albums in one word. Their vibes mostly, so maybe that's more helpful than several minutes of talking. Leslie Odom Jr.'s Mr. is sex. Mandy Gonzalez's Fearless is motivational. Anthony Ramos's The Good and the Bad is personal. Shoshana Bean's O'Farrell Street is grown up, and Ben Platt's Sing to Me Instead is pain. That is the video, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, if you like seeing my face, leave a thumbs up so I know it, and let me know in the comments below if you listened to any of these albums, what you thought of them, which one's your favorite. Also, if there are like any more Broadway solo albums that is not just a mix of Broadway hits. Original music from Broadway artists, if there are more, I would like to know so I can listen to them. And if you like general musical theater stuff, I post a lot of that, and I would really appreciate a subscription, so hit that button and that notification bell so you don't miss out. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!